What's up, YouTube? So this week I am in Arizona. I'm here with Mo. I came out here this week to do a project with one of his clients and just reflecting on the week. So this week, I wouldn't say it was that busy of a week, but definitely having a 2 day break between fly out here. That was nice. Um, and I think this is the first time that I actually flew out for a job where I didn't necessarily need to bring my gear, but it was more about the acquired skills that I have. Is that you need to start building your own highway for what you're doing. So I think Mo is someone that's kind of in a great space right now that with what he's doing is like finding a market that, for me, looking at realtors, I'm like overworking with realtors, right? And those kind of in that market. Then you see someone like Mo working with very similar clients, or at least in a similar industry, but a totally different level of clients that actually appreciate what he's doing. And they literally, flew him out and flew me out here to Arizona to shoot 2 months worth of content in about a day and a half. And it just really makes you start thinking about, what I mentioned before, like finding your lane and finding a niche that you can work within. So when I here to Arizona, I had to shoot with a new camera, shot with a Canon M50, something I never shot with before. But the skills I've acquired over the year were able to make, a $600 camera look like a $3,000 setup. And this was based on, using the right lighting gear, learning about like backlighting and different things like that to leave the client with a product that he was very happy with. Um, what else? I turned down a $3,500 or a $4,000 project, and this is just something else that Chris has been pushing me to only take on $10,000 projects. And I was here in Arizona with Mo, and this client called me wanting to do this warehouse video and this and that, and just talking to the client, realizing that even for $3,500 or $4,000, this client was going to be very demanding. So asking to myself, even though if I'm going to be making $4,000, is the $4,000 going to be worth my time and energy? If the client's already taking so much energy out of me before I even start the project, what is the rest of the project going to look like? So for this situation, the client told me that he's price shopping, in that he contacted other people, but he wasn't fully satisfied. And then he wanted me to drive to him about 45 minutes away to come look at his warehouse to figure out if I'd be a good fit for him or not. And this is him just asking me these things before I even start working with him. So, talking with Mo's like, dude, that doesn't sound like a $4,000 project. That sounds like a $10,000 project, because like this person's already so demanding out of you before you even start. What do you think that engagement is going to look like when you actually start working with them? So I made the decision to turn down this, $4,000 project, because it was just going to take away more than what I was really willing to give. Plus, I have so much other things happening right now that like adding that to the table just wasn't going to. What else? Yeah. So then the other thing I learned, I'm working on this other project with a client, which I'm actually working with an outside team that's working with my client on giving them feedback within like their brand guidelines and things like that. That's one of the first experiences that I'm really like working with the client, that the client has a dedicated marketing team and kind of being a third vendor through their project. So this is something that, working with these bigger clients, I normally, you know, working with my clients, I normally have about 2 or 3 rounds of revision. So right now I'm on my 5th round of revision, and it's just making me realize that with these bigger projects, like you should be charging more to make up for the time. Because today I had to actually tell the client that like, hey, we're in a 5th round revision, I need more money, versus just charging them more money from the beginning and not having to have these conversations. Um, Anything else? Anything you learned this week, Mo, or you learned over the past 2 days that you reflect on?
Can't do it all by yourself.
Can't do it all by yourself.
You gotta make sure to develop strong partnerships with people that are good at what they do, and then just let them do what they do.
So Most saying to, can't do it all by yourself and develop strong partnerships. And it is true. And you see it from a lot of industries. So in this situation, it's like, me and Mo working together, creating a strong partnership of being able to come out here to Arizona, be able to leave this client very happy with delivering a project. But now it's coming back to me. But, the client that we were working with, he's in a mortgage business, and just hearing how he has to work with other people in that industry to make things happen is no different than me and Mo having to work together to make things happen. And it's you building relationships with people around you is what's really going to allow you to get to places. It's about your network, it's about your connection. This really reflects back to the last video that I did, because being in Cancun with all those people, is like your network is your network. As well as you learn more about this, you actually learn about how people build wealth. So us being here, being able to hang out with Mo's client and spend some time with him, learning about his entrepreneur journey and the things that he did. The real estate space is definitely something that I'm going to be looking more to get into, with like me personally buying a home and really trying to build my wealth. What is y'all shooting out there? So we were shooting a 2 months worth of content for one of his clients, where Mo script and ask some questions, and then Mo goes back and with his team and they chop up 2 months worth of content for their client. And this is just like, you guys just start thinking about different business models, because I think a lot of us feel like we're always doing the same thing. But when you can find like a certain niche with what you're offering and what you're doing, your offer is very different than what somebody else is putting out there. So it's gonna be a short video. I wasn't gonna make this, but my only other tips gonna be around traveling is, like, if you're gonna be traveling a lot for work, even flying more than twice a year, get yourself TSA pre-check. Have you gotten TSA pre-check yet, Mo? No, fucking loser. So get yourself TSA pre-check. Get yourself a good credit card where you can keep track of all these things, just to protect yourself as well. And I think that's really it. Yeah, that's it, guys. It wasn't a very informative video for this one, but these are just kind of updates that are happening. I'm just trying to always reflect. So how do you plan out the content? That's more of a call for Mo, in the sense of like how he plans out his content. I'm guessing he really sits down with the client, they do a strategy, they probably go over like frequently asked questions, and then just do market research on what's very popular. Another great thing is look at the big TikTok accounts, what are they doing, and kind of use those as prompts for you to find out what kind of content you should be shooting. So that's it. Flying out tonight back to South Florida, and then just another another week of production. What is a funnel for a $10,000 client? Code emails, call contacts. Yeah, I mean, $10,000 clients are definitely more steps. I think the bigger the budget, the longer the sales process is that it goes with the client. It's one of those things. I don't know. Actually, funny enough, one of my coaching students, his second project that he just closed was for $11,000 that he's shooting a series. Here's Mo. You guys know what's up. A series of videos that I think he's shooting 2 or 3 videos for a museum up in Canada. And he literally closed an $11,000 project. It literally did take him about 2 or 3 months for him to actually close that deal. But I was telling somebody else, is like, if you're having issues closing $1,000 job, it's going to be hard for you to close a $10,000 job. I'm not saying it's not impossible or it's not possible for you to do it, but you can have that confidence to build that up. And then you work with the right clients. A $10,000 video shoot is nothing to them. That's like a drop in a bucket. And that's, one of our buddies that, that me and Mo know. He has already made, am I allowed to disclose how much he's made so far? I didn't say who it was. The guy. Oh. So he's done, so in the first 2 months of the year, he's already done $100,000. And he's pretty much he did he's doing $10,000 projects for a client. But he's also been in the game for a very long time. He's worked in his craft, so he's worked through that process of getting there. So it's not saying it's not possible. It's very doable. But when I see people struggling to sell $500 videos or $1,000 video, it's really going to be hard for you to pitch somebody in a $10,000 video. So let's do a deep dive on the process y'all did for this gig. So this is a long process, because I think this whole thing with how Mo got this gig was based on Mo building a relationship with somebody, being introduced to a group of people, showing his value, and then that client reaching out to Mo to actually come out here to Arizona, fly us out to do the content. I can't talk about everything that's happening just because it's not my client, it's Mo. But the process took about, I think, 2 or 3 months to get here. But it really comes down to building relationships. Like, the bigger projects I've gotten have come from building relationships with people and making myself stand out and being able to provide value for people. So that's it. I'm going to hop out. I just got to start getting ready for my flight, but I'll give you guys a new market update next week. Hope you guys are doing well.